I'd like to do with the time that I have with you is to probably try to accomplish two things. One, in 32 years, I've certainly been around the block in this industry. And I'd like to share with you, first of all, how I started, how bad it was, what I needed to learn to shift from not so good to really knowing what to do. Would that be of interest to you? Now, as a teacher, I've been teaching. Some of you may know I'm a former university professor in the field of psychology and sociology. And as a teacher, I always try to give my students things that could shift them from where they were in life to a new place that they wanted to be in life. So let me start by telling you my network marketing story. There was an associate dean that worked with me that reported to me. And at this time, I was a dean of a senior college of business. And he told me that his wife had a silly little business. Now, this is 32 years ago. So he represented his wife's business as being silly. Now, we would not have 9 children if I suggested to my wife anything she was doing was silly. So he said, my wife Patty is having one of her meetings on Monday night, and she'd love for you to attend. Now, we're going to teach you right from the beginning what happens when you're persistent. That was the first week. The second week, he came at me again. He always got me when I was at the drinking fountain because I couldn't answer fast then. And he told me again about his wife's having her meeting. Would you please come and attend? She'd love you to attend. I made up another excuse. Now it's the third week. I made another excuse. The fourth week, I made another excuse. The fifth week, I made another excuse. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. About 90% of the people in this audience were probably gone and never thought of me again after the first or second. Are you learning anything? On the 6th invitation, I ran out of excuses. So I said, okay, I'll come this evening. I'm driving to the meeting, and as I was driving and getting closer to their home, I started to pray a little bit, and here was my prayer. God forbid any faculty member I ever worked with be at that meeting tonight. Did I have a problem? I had a huge ego problem. After all, selling was so undignified for a professor. No, you just have title and no money. So I got to the meeting. Things got worse. As I got into the meeting, there's 13 women. A guy about this high looked 100 years older than me, and me. Now, you can imagine me trying to hide. I went to the back of the room. Think of this. That was like trying to hide a pregnant elephant on a tight wire. So I sat back there, and they started talking about their product. And I said, thank God I'm not interested. And then that little guy that looked 100 years old, he got up. And this man changed my life. He got up and he said, my name is Armand. I'm from Canada. I work in a factory in the United States for 35 years. And I make a brake shoe for automobile. And I retire. I'm now 72-year-old, and I retire when I'm 65. And one day I'm 69, 68, 69, and my wife, Peggy, she come to me and she say, Armand, you must go back to work. I said, Peggy, I work all my life. What do you mean go back to work? Why? Because we are still alive and we are running out of money. That was a human interest story to me, and I kind of liked this guy. I didn't know what he was going to say next, but I kind of warmed up to the vulnerability of his story. And then he said, my wife, Peggy, and I, a friend called us to come see the network marketing, direct selling business. And they say, don't worry, Armand, if you cannot sell. This business will take anybody. And he says to his wife, Peggy, we are anybody? Let's go see. So I'm listening to him, and I'm saying, this is pretty fascinating. I wonder where it's going. And then he said, my wife, Peggy, and I, we work as husband-wife team. Huh, Peggy? Peggy goes, yes, Armand. And today, 3 years later, we earn $10,000 a month. I almost fell off my chair. That was more than 3 times what I was earning, and it took me many years to qualify to earn it. The guy went to 5th year education, 5 years of formal schooling. He didn't speak the Queen's English. He was in a foreign country for him. He started a business at 69 years old. And at 72, he was earning 3 times a month more than I was. All of a sudden, whatever that stuff was on the counter that I didn't like, I was warming up just a bit. Well, I'm going to give you your PhD in network marketing right now if you're ready for it, because this is when he gave it to me. Are you ready for it? After the meeting ended, he went up to that table, and he had 2 shopping bags, one inside another. This was the level of sophistication for $10,000 a month. And he started putting those products in those 2 bags. And I went up to him, all the ladies left. And I said, Armand, my name is George Zalucki. I said, God, I am impressed. That was clearly a euphemism for I am jealous. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yes, you can ask me a question. I said, tell me, how can a guy like me who's only been a teacher and a coach get into this thing, network something, and make $10,000 a month? Now, why did I ask that question? Why do you think I asked that question? Because that sounded good to me. Does it sound good to you? Well, why don't you ask for what you want in life instead of praying all the time and wondering whether it's ever going to come to you? Prayers without works mean nothing. Faith without works means nothing. So, oh, he said, big man, you would like to earn $10,000 a month? I said, yes, that would be nice. He stood right in front of me, and he was about this high, I swear. I'm big, but this guy was small. And he's looking up like this, and he said, I ask you a question, big man. Listen to the question. Listen to it. Will you, big man, as represent 1 year of your life, I don't care if you do full-time or you do with your spare time. You'll just have more time to do same simple things. You don't look over your shoulder left for 1 year. You don't look over your shoulder right for 1 year. You focus your mind, and you will succeed. Can you do that? He said. And I answered like most people. I was not quite advanced at that point in how things really get done. So I said, well, I think I can do that. And here's what he did. Oh, no, he said. Did I ask you, will you give 1 year of your life, no turn back effort, no look back left, no look back right, focus your mind? Did I ask you that question? By this time, I'm getting a little irritated. I said, yes, you asked me that question. He said, then, big man, you have yes or you have no. Now pick one. I said, yes, I'll do it. Now here's the best training I ever had in my life about success. What he said right now. Here's what he said. That's good, big man. I can teach you no more. Now I'm going to tell you something. If I walked off this stage right now and you understood the power of that man's instruction, you can do anything. The problem is, folks, We start something and we lose focus. We let the little minds in life take away the big dreams, don't we? The little voices that you have in you from your past failures, they keep chipping away at your will to persevere. Yes or no? You think it's any different for me? I've just learned you need to tell those people inside of you to shut up. Well, I got started in the business, and here's the way I approached it. Here's the mistake. Don't make it. ACN has a system for you. Just follow the system. And so if you want success, you better understand Newton's law. For every positive, there's a negative. For every plus, there's a minus. For every dreamer, unfortunately, there's about 1,000 dream stealers. You got to give before you take. It's a law of the universe. It's a forgotten law for all too many. What's in it for me? It's got to go out before it comes in. And I'll give you some news. What you're putting out is going to come back. It's a discovery of life when you recognize where you are is where you thought yourself to be. There is no action in humanity that is not first stimulated by a human thought. Therefore, you create reality by your thinking, which means your reality is being created in an ongoing fashion, moment by moment by moment, because your thoughts determine what you understand and see. Yes or no? See, no two people see the same reality. It's impossible. Because all of us have different backgrounds, different intelligence, different educations, different upbringing, different cultures. Think about it. Those are the filters in your life for what you see in the present moment. So you don't see real reality. You see what you think is reality, and so do all of us. Now, once you learn that, do you understand that you are a creator of your life? Through the medium of your thoughts. Your thoughts will evoke your feelings. Your feelings is reciprocal and will evoke more thoughts. So what if your feelings are negative? What if your feelings are full of doubt and confusion? What do you think your thoughts are going to be in the cycle of feedback? It's going to make you powerless. So you need to, if you want to change your life, you have to understand, you have to change your thinking. Can you get it? Yes. It's amazing that great teachers, great philosophers, great religious leaders through all of history have taught us about the power of the nature of our thoughts. And we go right through life with habitual negative thinking, not knowing the consequence that follows. Whether you think you can or whether you think you cannot, Henry Ford said, you are right. Milton, the mind is its own place. It can make a heaven of a hell and a hell of a heaven. The mind. Aristotle said this. He said success and excellence is a habit. Is a habit. What kind of habit? The habit of developing right thinking over a period of time that you do right things. Dr. William James, the father of American psychology, said it this way. A human being can alter the circumstances of their lives by altering their attitudes of their minds. How many times do we need to hear it before we get it? And yet we will allow our minds to be reduced to the lowest common denominator of inspiration which surrounds us. Negative, negative, negative. This world is full of people who, if you gave them a donut, they'd first try to eat the whole. I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you think 5% of the people in the world own 95% of the wealth? Did you ever ask that question? Well, here's what most people, oh, they're lucky, they were born into it, they're more smarter than I am. No, not the case. No. You want to take and observe it? Why don't you observe the 5%? That'd be a starting point, wouldn't it? The 5% don't stop after 9 or 10 hours. They know that the number one asset for wealth is time. Time! That's the one resource every one of us has equally. The 5% are visionaries. They're willing to do over and over again simple things to amass a fortune. They're willing to wait, they're willing to sacrifice, and if you're not willing to do it, it isn't going to happen. That's why you need to have goals. You can't hit a ball that you're not aiming at. You can't bring something into your life that you don't passionately want in your life. This world responds to passion. And we're so cool, huh? We walk around looking good and we're frightened to step out and speak to somebody and offer them something of value. You're in the business of helping people improve their lives. And it just so happens that we use the telephone products as a medium to transform lives. Leadership, inspiration. He said, learn how to help people improve their lives through this medium that you have here. Move forward and learn how to lead. Learn how to inspire, and most of all, learn how to serve. Learn how to serve. The happiest people in the world are the people who are servants to other people's dreams and lives. The happiest people in the world. So the starting point, if you're going to make a change in your life, is to analyze your thinking. Be truthful about the conditions in your life. Take a serious look. What if that old man were here and gave you that advice? And he said, 1 year, no turning back. Focus your mind. Don't look back left or right. Will you do that? And you said, yes. And it was for the first time in your life, a yes you would never let go of. Guess what? You won't lose. There's just too many people in this world that will respond to what we have. The problem is you're not telling it to enough of them. Are you hearing me? You get 3 or 4 no's and all of a sudden, this thing won't work. Wimp right back into your wimpy world? Or stand up and say, if anybody can do it, I can. What is it I need to learn so I can get better? Where do I get my training? How do I come to the leaders' meetings when they put them on? How do I get on the conference calls when they're training? You see, that's what you need to do. It's a component. It's a necessary element of your growth. What are you reading? Probably not much of value. Tell the truth. What are you reading that grows you as a person? That teaches you the things you need to know to advance yourself in life? What are you listening to, and who are you listening to? There's your analysis. Start there. And if you'll tell the truth about what is influencing you right now, you will see the necessity of change. So be persistent in what you do. Surrender to what it is you want. Surrender to it. That's the most powerful way to get where you want to go. Just say, hey, this is it. Come at me any way you want. I don't care. I'm going to the top.